behalf of the High School of Economics and the local organizers committee, let me open this conference. I'm Vadim Radaev, first vice director of the High School of National Research University of High School of Economics. I apologize for my voice or for the absence of voice. But you know, managing conferences is not an easy issue. And if I lost the rest of it, so I will make some welcoming gestures to you. This conference is a joint venture. It's been arranged as an interim conference of the Research Committee Economic Society of the International Social Association, and also interim conference of the Economic Sociology Research Network of the European Sociological Association with the active support of ASA, American Sociological Association, so we collected all of you. And previous interim conference of this kind, from Conference of Economic Sociology, was arranged here in Moscow 12 years ago, in January 2000. It was middle of winter. Actually, everyone survived, but this year we decided not to expose you to such risks. It was rather fresh outside, but still it's about 0 Celsius, not other than. The title of the conference is Embeddedness and Beyond, and some of us could say that, well, this is embeddedness again and again. But whatever we say, social embeddedness, economic action has become a central concept for new economic sociology since the 80s and has inspired a large number of sociological theories, empirical studies. And at the same time, during the last decade, it has been largely criticized and put a challenging test. So now it's a good time to check out our economic sociological toolkits and see whether our sociological theories need is rapidly changing and uncertain economic realities. The task of my introductory talk is modest. I have to answer 2 questions. Why the High School of Economics, and second, what we are doing here at the Polytechnical Museum. Why High School of Economics? I bet that most of you did not know much about this university before coming down to Moscow. Although it's very unique, you must know it's a very unique project. This, it's a pretty young university. We will celebrate our 20th anniversary this October. In a month. And it was established by the Russian Federation government in 1992, at that very year when the economic reform was started. And that was the first post-communist Russian government. And actually, at that time, it was started absolutely from scratch, civil level. 20 years ago, there were no facilities, no students, no faculty. It was a real golden age for the university. Now it's much more problematic. At that time, actually, it was a very romantic project to build up a new type of university, promoting international standards of research and teaching. And very surprisingly, this project has proved to be successful, very successful. And now we have up to 20,000 students. We have 4 campuses in different cities of Russia, not only Moscow. We have the biggest enrollment for master's programs among all Russian universities. And we're still growing, and growing fast. And many people used to say, well, why don't you stop? And it's too late to stop it. And actually, every year we open at least 1 new faculty or school, and now we have 27 or 26, I don't know, but in Moscow only. So we're still growing, and it was studied from economics, of course, High School of Economics. It was supported from London School of Economics and some other European universities. And then there was a series of successful, well, more or less successful spin-offs into management, sociology, law, psychology, political science, philosophy, history, linguistics, and engineering also after the, well, recent events this year. What is even more important than this size is that by now high school economics is recognized as one of national leaders bringing innovations into higher education system. And 3 years ago, we obtained a status, official formal status, national research university. There was a strong nationwide competition among Russian universities, and still we are the only university in economic, social sciences and humanities that have this status in Russia. Well, and statuses are important here, as you know. And we established, well, more than a dozen international research laboratories, one which is headed by Nobel Prize winner Eric Musky, and another is headed by Ronald Inderhart, founder of the World Value Survey, and other distinguished scholars. And one more peculiarity of this university is that it's not just an academic institution. From the very beginning, it was established as an analytical center for the Russian Federation government. And we have several institutions working directly for the government, and the whole university is working under auspices of Russian Federation government. And well, actually you can regularly see, well, higher standing public officials, vice premiers attending our conferences, or you could see Russian Federation Minister of Finance, famous Alexei Kudrin. He was recognized as the best world Minister of Finance at least twice. You could see him walking from his office to Miss Nitskaya, just to give his lectures on a regular basis, on a weekly basis actually, several years. In the room in which our mini conference 6 will start working tomorrow. So our scholars and experts are very active in policy-oriented research and promoting a kind of reforms, economic, social policy, education, civil service. And many people do not like the high school economics for that. Well, saying that, well, too much of the high school economics. You should know also that, well, just a couple of words about, oh yes, Victor. Yeah, Victor is gone. Great. You must know the general context very briefly, that the whole system of Russian universities is now at the age of serious changes. We have a group of these national research universities, but quite recently, well, a month ago actually, the next stage of reform was announced by the government, and it is named 5/100. It means that at least 5 Russian universities could be seen to, well, top 100 of world-class universities in 8 years, if I'm correct. So let's wait and see if we are successful, but within 3 months, they will select 15 universities to participate in the rat race. And obviously, the high school economics will take part in this competition. Hopefully, we'll get one of these places and then run. Just to finish this issue, oh yes, one more point. This reform has, well, not very exciting side as well. You must know that we have 1,100 universities in this country. And, well, many people used to say that too many. And what is more important, some of these universities just imitate teaching activities. They rather, well, selling degrees or selling opportunities to escape from regulatory services. And now, new guys in the ministry announced that within the next year, they will close down up to 20% of universities, which are imitating these activities. I mean, and do not provide, well, decent services to the students. So it's, well, let's wait and see what happens. But anyway, it's big time ambitious goals, and we will know soon to what extent these projects are implemented. So if you want to get a little bit more detailed idea of the high school economics, I would recommend just to look through a chapter which is on our conference book. This chapter was published in the volume The Road to Academic Excellence, the Making of World-Class Research Universities. It was published by the World Bank last year and already translated into 6 languages. And the whole book analyzes a new wave of research universities from 10 countries that pretend to become world-class universities. And they include Shanghai Caotong University, Pohang University of Science and Technology in Korea, Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, National University of Singapore, etc., and High School of Economics among them. So in this chapter, in condensed way, you will get from this chapter an idea what I'm trying to do here. So anyway, this university is a very ambitious project, and I believe that you will know more about this university within the next decade, as we will try to move upward. Because it's the High School of Economics, economic sociology is a major field for sociologists here, obviously, and we have very extensive program both for bachelors and masters, and you will find information in your conference books and on our research projects and research fellows, and also we'll meet our colleagues during the conference. We are bilingual, principally, meaning that given the Russian-speaking audience and Russian academic market are large enough, we have a mixture of Russian and English in our lecture courses, in our research, and we still, for 12 years, we've been publishing a journal, Economic Sociology, an e-journal for Russian-speaking audience. Just, you may know that each issue on average is uploaded by 6,000 users, and most popular issues are uploaded more than 8,000 users, so it's not bad at all. And I hope we are making translations to introduce most important names and concepts to Russian-speaking audience, which is large enough, and many of you have had your papers translated and published in Russian. This journal in volumes. I use this opportunity to congratulate Oleg Guseva, whose book Into Red was released just a week ago, and it will be delivered tomorrow to our conference in the copies. And Frank Dobbin's Forging Industrial Policy is forthcoming soon before the end of this year in the Russian edition. A new paper, David Stark and Balazs Shvedrovich, was published a few weeks ago. So, and we are hoping to get more and more valuable contributions from you. That was about High School Economics, and very briefly about this place. So this is not the High School of Economics, I mean this hall, yet. It's not. So why the Polytechnical Museum? I have about 20 reasons, but I will mention a few. First, it's absolutely the best place for those who are willing to bring material objects to sociology, because this is a real museum, a grand museum, the biggest museum established more than 150 years ago, and it's the biggest collection of technical artifacts, historical inventions, technological achievements. It includes first telescopes, early microscopes, electric lights, cars, and you can see the first Soviet computer here. And for those who are interested, we'll arrange English guided tour around this museum. But this is not the most important issue. The most important reason for us being here is that this ground hall is quite famous as a place for public debates, arranged since the very beginning of the 20th century. And actually one could hear within these 100 years, nearly all most prominent Russian Soviet poets in these debates, and many distinguished scientists, including Nobel Prize winners from Russia and international scholars, came to this hall to address the public. And the point is that it's for open public lectures. For example, famous Danish physicist Niels Bohr gave a lecture here on nuclear shell structure in 1934, and many others. So, and today, this place is used for public lectures of distinguished intellectuals. So it keeps this tradition. So the place is very symbolic, connecting natural and social sciences with emergent civil society, and having a very special aura. And besides, it's nicely located. So it's 5 minutes walk from HSC, well, High School Economics headquarters on one side, Red Square and Kremlin on the other side, 5-minute walk, and 2 minutes walk to Lubyanka and famous KGB and FSB building, but although it's not for visiting. And last point, if you like, I would also point that museum director Boris Saltykov, who is former Minister of Science, is a professor of high school economics. So it's about connections, important connections. So turning back to the conference, last point, this is a real result of collaborative effort. And we are indebted to so many colleagues contributing their ideas and spending their precious time on that. And many thanks to all members of the program committee, and especially to Oleg Gusev and Valery Kubovich, whom we discussed, well, nearly all issues, no details, on day-to-day basis. We are thankful to all coordinators of our mini conferences who have done an excellent job. We also I would like to thank for support the chairs of Research Committee 2, Economy and Society of ISA, William Carroll and Georgina Murray, and also a local committee who spent a lot of time. I'm grateful to all of you, and many of you, most of you, exchanged tons of letters with Zoya Kotelnikova, who actually had to postpone her research plans at least for half a year to make this conference arrangement, and she's still alive. And you can meet her in person, actually, and some of you did. She's here. I would recommend, or we would recommend, to explore the conference bags. You'll find a lot of maps, instructions, guides there, but still, if you have any questions, please address the conference secretariat, and you can meet Tatiana Karabchuk, who is where?
Yeah, on the left.
Yes, so she's the head of our conference secretariat, and if you see somebody in white shirt, please do not think they're Boy Scouts, they're just conference teams. You do not hesitate to address them and ask for any help. They'll be pleased to provide funding. It is funded by the High School Economics, first of all, then some support came from Russian State Humanitarian Foundation, and also ESA, European Sociological Association, Research Net Economic Sociology provides money for awards and stipends to the best graduate students. We'll celebrate it in 2 days, and thanks to Marina Wojcik, who is here also. As a result of all these efforts, we have so many distinguished scholars here. We have all of you on this hall today, and some people are coming. And we believe that the conference will become a significant and exciting event. And my very last word is about Moscow. Because some of you, it's the first time, some of you at least, being in Moscow. Well, actually, this city is fascinating. But, well, it's very hectic at the same time. It's postmodern, it's pressing, it's 24 hours active, it's expensive. We are sorry for that, but it has plenty of very good cars standing in heavy traffic jams. We have very nice underground stations, so, well, remnants of the Soviet culture. This is the only city in Russia in which you can see people running up and down the escalators to be on time. And we have Moscow drivers who maintain their great cultural traditions by parking with violations of any possible rules. But at the same time, we have a great cultural shift, turn. For example, Moscow drivers have started to give way to pedestrians crossing the street. But please, however, please be attentive when checking the empirically so far. And finally, we have friendly and helpful people, and some of them speak English. So thank you all very much for coming, and welcome to this great city.
Congratulations to Vadim Radaev and the Laboratory for the Studies in Economic Sociology and the Research University of Higher Education for sponsoring this event, an important International Conference in Economic Sociology. Congratulations and thank you. And I say congratulations because the last time I was in Moscow was in 1998. The ruble had just collapsed, and this was a conference organized by the Ford Foundation to allow American social scientists to talk and meet with Russian social scientists. It was very clear from this conference that this was a very difficult time for Russia, the collapse of the ruble. And also, it was a moment for the social sciences to regroup and to begin to think about how to develop the social sciences after the collapse of the Soviet Union in a positive direction. And I'm very pleased to see that not only has economic sociology and sociology regrouped, but it is now in a self-organized process of leadership in organizing this conference. And I have, through this period, known Vadim through international conferences, and I followed his career, and it is a distinguished career which has led to the establishment of economic sociology as an important arena of research and discussion in the Russian social science scene. Again, thank you for inviting me to this meeting.